WWE Women's World Champion Becky Lynch's contract with WWE is reportedly up in just 3 weeks' time, and she's still yet to sign a new deal with the company. Bryan Danielson reveals his contract with AEW is up before AEW All In at Wembley Stadium in London, and also reveals when he would like to have his final match as a full-time professional wrestler. Two long-time WWE employees have been let go from the company. The nephew of WWE legend The Dynamite Kid makes his AEW debut last night on Collision. Several more matches have taken place in the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. We'll let you know about that. Willow Nightingale set to defend her AEW TBS Championship at a Stardom event in Japan. Plus, Kenny Omega says he's going dark after his recent attack angle and upcoming surgery. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about Becky Lynch and her status with WWE, her contractual status with the organization. Because, of course, the man is the world champion, but one without a deal in WWE for much longer. Now, of course, last year, Fightful Select reported that Becky Lynch's contract with WWE was up in June of 2024. Since then, much has been made about her future with the company, in addition to her husband, Seth Rollins. Of course, recently it was reported by Fightful that Rollins had signed a new big money, multi-year contract with the company. However, his wife, Becky Lynch, she has yet to do that. Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp has confirmed that Lynch is still on her previous contract and she has not signed a new deal, despite being the Women's World Champion. Now, there have been ongoing conversations regarding a new contract with WWE. However, as things stand, Becky Lynch's contract with WWE is up in roughly 3 weeks. As of now, Becky Lynch is scheduled to defend the Women's World Championship at WWE King and Queen of the Ring against Liv Morgan just before her contract is set to expire. So, what are your thoughts about this? Is there any chance Becky Lynch could leave WWE, or are we going to see what we've seen with a lot of talents recently, that she will put pen to paper on what could be the largest contract ever given to a woman in professional wrestling history? Let me know your thoughts about it in a comment section below. Now, Bryan Danielson, he's another one whose contract is coming up very soon, but it's with AEW. Bryan Danielson, of course, is in his final full-time year as a professional wrestler, closing the chapter on one of the most storied careers in professional wrestling history. With his run set to wind down, Danielson told Casual Conversations that he still has a few things to check off his bucket list, including an appearance at All In 2024 at Wembley Stadium. However, he confirmed that his current contract is due to expire before the London event in August. He said, quote, "The big one is Wembley. I want to make it to Wembley," he said. "My contract actually expires before, but I want to make it to Wembley." Danielson shared his opinion that Wembley differs from other iconic wrestling venues such as Arena Mexico or the Tokyo Dome in that it's not one typically synonymous with the sport. He reasoned that it held a different energy to the others that he wrestled at, and given that he was unavailable for last year's All-In event, he wanted to cross off that goal this year. Furthermore, he might stick around a little bit longer as he feels that October's Wrestle Dream event would be a great curtain call. He said, quote, "I'm not sure if I'll make it, but one thing that would be a nice way to close everything out for me is to do my last match as a full-time wrestler at Wrestle Dream at the Tacoma Dome, because that's the first wrestling show I ever saw at the Tacoma Dome. It was WWF and it was the Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude." Now, Bryan Danielson joined AEW in 2021, months after departing WWE, signing a 3-year deal with the promotion. He confirmed that this would be his final year of full-time competition ahead of the Continental Classic last year. However, Danielson had not been seen on AEW television since losing to Will Ospreay at AEW Dynasty, but that was before he made his return to AEW TV on Dynamite this week, siding with FTR and Eddie Kingston against the Elite. Now, on Collision last night, Danielson revealed actually why he sided with Kingston and FTR in the battle against the AEW EVPs. After making his return for the first time since Dynasty to in-ring competition, Danielson revealed why he joined Team AEW on last night's Collision. In the first match of last night's episode, Bryan Danielson teamed with his Blackpool Combat Club stablemate Claudio Castagnoli for his in-ring return. Danielson and Castagnoli won their match against Top Flight, and afterwards the American Dragon addressed the excited Canadian crowd. On Dynamite earlier this week, it was announced that Danielson would team with FTR and Eddie Kingston, dubbed Team AEW against the Elite in an Anarchy in the Arena match at Double or Nothing. Danielson noted last night that he had chosen to join the team despite the fact that the first Anarchy in the Arena match he participated in almost ended his career. Understanding the high stakes for the upcoming match, Danielson shared that he needed to join Team AEW to combat the Elite after their vicious attack on Tony Khan. He ended the segment noting, ominously, that he would stop at nothing to protect AEW. So, what are your thoughts on Danielson, his future, and the reason why he joined Team AEW? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, the shake-up behind the scenes in WWE continues in the Endeavor/TKO era because a long-time WWE employee is gone from the company. Fightful Select has confirmed that Steve Rubin is gone from WWE. Now, if you're not sure who he was, Rubin was the Senior Director, TV Event Relations at WWE. He'd been with the company for 26 years, beginning as a production assistant and working his way up through the company. Now, Fightful have also confirmed PW Insider's reports that Michael Levin is gone from WWE as well. Now, he has been Vice President of International Events and General Manager of Emerging Markets for 7 years, and also worked out of the company's London office. Now, this is being chalked up to, again, casualties of the merger between WWE and UFC to form TKO, as WWE and TKO and UFC look to find people that can do that job across the organization as opposed to separate jobs for just WWE and UFC. Now, let's go back to AEW Collision last night because we saw the debut of a nephew of a WWE legend. On last night's episode of Collision, there was a match featuring FTR's Dax Harwood taking on a debuting young talent. Dynamite Kid Tommy Billington, the nephew of the Dynamite Kid, made his AEW debut on last night's show. The original iteration of the Kid was, of course, one half of the British Bulldogs, a tag team consisting of cousins Davey Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid in the 1980s. While in the end, Billington ultimately lost the match against Harwood, it was competitive throughout, and the crowd was very engaged with Billington. Dax Harwood's Team AEW partner Bryan Danielson was also in action, as I mentioned on last night's Collision, cutting a post-match promo as to the reasons why he joined Team AEW. Now, we brought you this yesterday because the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments have seen matches spill over onto WWE live events, and we have the results of the tournament matches at last night's WWE live event. There has been an update on the untelevised first round matches in the 2024 WWE King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. After all but 4 of the first round matches from both Raw and SmackDown were completed on their respective shows, the remaining matches were confirmed to be occurring at live shows this weekend. Last night in Chattanooga, Tennessee, the King and Queen of the Ring tournament continued as LA Knight took on Santos Escobar. In the end, LA Knight won the match to advance to the second round of the tournament. He'll go on to tangle with the Bloodline in the second round, slated to face Tama Tonga on the next episode of SmackDown. The other SmackDown King of the Ring match of the next round is Carmelo Hayes versus Randy Orton. Also from SmackDown at last night's live event, Tiffany Stratton took on Michin in the first round. Stratton advanced in the tournament and will go on to face Bianca Belair in the second round, with the other SmackDown Queen of the Ring match being Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax. Now, still to come this weekend, the results of the remaining Raw side of the King and Queen of the Ring first round matches at a live event tonight in Macon, Georgia. Those matches are Shayna Baszler versus Zelina Vega in the women's tournament and Kofi Kingston versus Rey Mysterio in the men's tournament. Of course, once we get the results from that, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. Willow Nightingale, before she defends the TBS Championship against the in-ring debut of Mercedes Moné in AEW, she's got to defend her title in Japan. Willow Nightingale's mind might be on her upcoming TBS Championship defense against Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing on May 26, but it turns out she has one more obstacle to get through first, and she'll have plenty of time to think about it on the flight there. On May 18, just 8 days before she heads to Las Vegas, Nightingale will be in action in Yokohama, Japan, wrestling on a Stardom show called Flashing Champions 2024, and her challenger will be former World of Stardom champion Tam Nakano. The match was announced on Saturday's episode of AEW Collision. Nightingale, who had expressed her desire to defend the TBS title outside of AEW, has never set foot in the ring with Nakano before, though she's made 2 previous trips to Japan, wrestling for Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling and DDT Pro Wrestling in 2022 before returning to Japan as the inaugural New Japan Strong Women's Champion in 2023. She wouldn't leave with a bout, however, as she lost it to future WWE star Julia after just a 45-day reign. Nightingale reportedly was never meant to win the title in the first place, but defeated the intended winner Mercedes Moné in May 2023 after Moné suffered a legitimate injury and called an audible in the ring. The 2023 Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament winner also wrestled on Stardom's American Dream show, teaming with Saki to defeat Konami and Suri on WrestleMania weekend in Philadelphia. She would win the TBS Championship at AEW Dynasty 17 days later. Assuming she gets past Nakano, Moné will be Nightingale's third title defense. And finally, Kenny Omega says he's going dark after the recent attack angle on AEW Dynamite and Rampage, as well as his upcoming major surgery. Omega made his return to AEW television on the May 1st episode of Dynamite in his hometown of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Omega said that he was worried he would have to retire after being diagnosed with diverticulitis back in December, before he was attacked by Jack Perry and the Young Bucks to end the show. Despite Omega getting physical in the angle, he is reportedly still a long way before being cleared to return to the ring, and he gave a message to fans yesterday ahead of his upcoming surgery. Taking to Instagram, he wrote, quote, "Have fun and stay safe. I may go dark for a bit soon, but remember, I'm always on duty." Now, Omega announced the return of the Anarchy in the Arena match on this past week's episode of Dynamite for Double or Nothing, where the Young Bucks, Kazuchika Okada and Jack Perry of the Elite will face off against Team AEW, consisting of FTR, Eddie Kingston, and the recently returned Bryan Danielson. But there you go, guys. It's the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.